Tune in 12 noon on Sundays for Millennial High on 106.5 FM WPPM People Power Media with Tia Whitfield, the #1 show in Philadelphia that wants to give you the best in artists, entertainment, education, health, fitness, and philanthropy. Millennial High is not just a show. It is here to inspire and provoke others to take action towards their purpose in life. So if you have an uplifting, thought-provoking message, get with us at Millennial High. That is millennialhigh@gmail.com.
Millennial High. Millennial High. Millennial High. Tia from Millennial High.
With the one and only Miss Tia Whitfield.
At 106.5 FM. Tune in.
And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Tia Shasha High. I have Eli Capella. Your mic's on.
What's up? What's up? What's good, everybody? How you doing?
I'm so excited to finally have him here. It's been a couple of, we had to his schedule's crazy. Let him doing this thing. But we finally agreed on a day and time. So I'm going to just introduce Eli, and then we're going to start talking a little bit. And I told you that I like a bio that I saw of yours. I love it so much.
Oh, yeah.
You like that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, straight from the slums of Philadelphia, the Illadelph child, Eli Capella, shatters the airways with his amazing sound while conquering stages with his phenomenal stage presence, empowering minds with his lyrics while making bodies move with his amazing ear for production. He plans on taking his city of Philly by storm in the dopest way possible. Eli. All right, so I have a question. Mm-hmm. First things first, Eli Capella or Young Capella?
Oh, it's Eli Capella, but Young Capella could be like an alias or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I think I referred to you as Young Capella once, and you're like, oh, Eli. And I'm like, but it says on the gram, it says Young Capella. I was so confused.
Oh, yeah. So the ad name is Eli Capella, but it's cool to call me that because that's what I refer to in one of my songs. So
okay,
it's all good.
So talk to us. How are you today? How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. It's been a very productive weekend. I've been performing at so on Friday I performed at the Limitless Music Festival Gala. That was hosted by Erica Alexander. Most people know her as Maxine from Living Single. Mm-hmm. And then I performed at the Limitless Music Festival. That was yesterday. And that was my first time performing with an umbrella because it was really raining and whatnot. But I didn't let that stop me. The crowd really enjoyed me. Really got to have a dope conversation with Erica. She's a really dope soul. And
I love that.
I just had a really good time.
So I heard of the Limitless Music Festival, and I'm like, oh, come on. I feel like everything happens all at one time.
Yeah,
because I was already scheduled to cover another festival, but I'm like, oh, I wanted to go because I know, you were on stage.
Yeah.
And a couple other people were going to be on stage. So I'm like, oh, that would have been great. So tell me a little bit about how you got started. What's your backstory?
So I've been performing pretty much all my life. I grew up as a church boy. I was one of the youngest kids in the church choir. Actually wasn't even supposed to be in the choir, but because of my persistence and dedication, they allowed me to be in the choir. I started performing solo around 6 or 7, actually singing. And that's pretty much where the music started. I started rapping at about 12 or 13. I would dabble in it here and there, but my self-esteem wouldn't allow me to continue to pursue it further. I actually
wait a minute.
You good?
Wait a minute. I gotta touch on that.
Okay.
What do you mean by that? Your self-esteem went
So being younger, living in Alany, going to Morrison Elementary School, it was actually pretty tough because I suffer from extreme anxiety from watching my big brother get jumped. at a young age, at about 10, I think, and he got jumped by an 18-year-old and like this other boy when he was only like 15. So I watched him like really get trashed, and that really traumatized me. So growing up, I used to always get in fights prior to that moment, but then after that, it was a complete shift because every time any altercation was about to occur, like my heart rate would start to rise sky high, and I just would literally start shaking in the inside. And I did used to get bullied. I did used to get peer pressure to do a lot of things that I didn't want to do. That I don't regret because everything is a lesson, you know.
Absolutely,
and,
yeah.
So I really would look in the mirror and just not be able to see who I really was as a beautiful person that God created me to be. I always thought that my distinct qualities would be flaws, like the hyperpigmentation underneath my eyes, my skin tone. I used to want to be like super duper light skinned and whatnot. Like I used to think that's what would make me get attention from most people. And just and I used to be chubby, so that was a big thing that I was very self-conscious about, and just so much more, you know.
And you know that is what a lot of like preteens, teens deal with. Like they all deal with that. I mean, I remember being that young and dealing with and having issues about my complexion too, and thinking like, oh, I wish I looked like this. I wish my hair was like that. You know, we all compare ourselves, but I think the beauty in it is just that you use it as a lesson. You overcome it.
Right.
So what were some things that helped you overcome and gain confidence to become Eli Capella?
Definitely prayer. I actually started really gaining my confidence when I used to go to college. So I spent a year at the Community College of Philadelphia, and I would literally just ask God to like put people around me who were honest with me and genuine and real. And even though I was going through a lot during that time, because that's when I voluntarily decided to leave my mom's house, and I was actually living house to house from my grandma's house in the projects to another friend's house who didn't have the best living circumstances as well. So, but the irony in all of that was that I actually started to become extremely happy. Like that's when I really started to notice myself. And things that I saw as flawed aspects of my image, I just started to accept it. Like, all right, yeah, that's cool. Like, there's dark shades under my eyes. That's fine. Like, I still look good. And the people who I had around me were like extremely, extremely dope people who weren't really trying to peer pressure me into anything. We were all kind of like-minded people, whether it came to music, fashion, art, so on and so forth. And they explored me to new things, and so did I, and vice versa, you know. So I would definitely say God brought people around me who were just really honest, even in terms of the harshest truths, and who wouldn't take my vulnerability for granted, you know. And
that's key to, like you said, be around like-minded people. That is absolutely key. So then now let's talk about how you took your experiences and transformed them into producing your music, being a lyricist. So when did you know that, you know, I can do this?
When I was about 15 in the 10th grade, I was going to Gretz High School. So prior to going to Gretz, when I lived in Albany, I was very self-conscious about my rapping because people didn't take me seriously at all. Like nor did the teachers. I would actually get in trouble for writing in class when I went to Albany High School. And when I went to Gretz High School, I was living in down North Philly. It's a completely different atmosphere. It's a completely different culture and environment. When I got down there, my composition teacher actually caught me writing. I'm like, dang, I'm about to get in trouble. And he
wait, your composition teacher caught you writing?
yeah, right. But like everything was over though. Like we were actually supposed to
I
doing
got
something
you.
else. Yeah, so he called me right and raps and whatnot, because I used to do it for fun. Because when I got the grads, I used to sit at the lunch table by myself. you know, because I didn't have any friends. I didn't know anybody there when I first got there. So I would literally use rapping as a distraction to let time go by. Like, all right, cool. When is lunch about to be over so I could not be in an awkward space? And I just started getting used to it. I couldn't really go outside a lot. My mom is a very overprotective mother, so the only time I would really be able to explore was when I was over my dad's or like my dad's side of the family. And he called me right in, and he read it, and he came back to me, was like, "Yo, like, you're really talented. Like, every time you write, can you promise me that you'll let me read?" It's like, sure. Then another instance is when I was in my music class, and he turned on a James Brown break beat, and I don't know why, I just wanted to rap to it, and I started rapping to it, and the whole class just started going crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so let's fast forward then to now. What is your latest album?
So my latest album is called Illa Dwellers. I'm in the process of recording my newest album called Born and Raised in Soul, aka Bars. I actually started a GoFundMe for that project, and it's going pretty good. Almost at $500.
Good.
In terms of the funds.
So that's for like recording costs and marketing
recording,
costs.
Yep. Marketing, videos, merch.
Let me tell you, like, okay, so what I find with all artists, right? You know, you have the passion and you're good at what you do, but in order to like disseminate that to the world, that costs money. So like, I'm happy that you started this GoFundMe. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, that makes sense to me. Oh, okay. So we're gonna play a track off of Illa Dwellers, but before that, talk to me about the inspiration behind the album.
Okay, so the inspiration behind the album was definitely when I was living with my dad in the area of Kensington. I think it's the biggest heroin activity in the world going on down there, like in terms of the addiction.
Yeah,
in Kensington. Yeah, like
they 10
have
City, like around 10 City, like
no, like in Philly. That's like a section.
Yeah,
down Kensington, Allegheny.
Yeah.
So I definitely got a lot of inspiration there, and all I really saw was like, besides the people who were addicted to drugs, like the people who were selling them had to be close to my age or just a little bit older, and I would see little kids playing in the fire hydrants, completely oblivious to needles on the ground, rats running around, like literal rats just everywhere, mice infestation, so much going on, but like people were still happy. And that's when I came to the understanding that people who do these kinds of things, they're not born as monsters. They're shaped by the environment that's made for them, so they have to adapt any way that they see possible. You know, we might not agree with it, but that's the life that they feel like they had, and they didn't feel like they could choose another way because literally the buildings and walls that surround them is as far as their knowledge can take them, as far as the possibilities, you know. So that definitely inspired me to write this, because I wanted to change the perspective of how people view them.
Now I'm gonna play Faded. Can you introduce that track?
Yeah, so Faded is pretty much the anthem that introduced my company called Item 9. 9 stands for Never Initiate in Negative Energy, and I really wanted to show how I'm the kind of person who is always on the high, like a high off life, high off love. So I just really wanted to show people my journey throughout building myself in the Philly network.
All right, here we go. Let's play Faded, Eli Capella.
Single that I dropped. It's available on SoundCloud. For those who don't know, just listen. Yeah, you know that. That's the nine. Yeah, you know that. That's the nine. That's the nine. So yeah, this is my last song. I'm gonna give y'all everything, so I need everything back. So I'm gonna need everybody to put their hands up. You gonna feel it? Hands up. 1, 2, 3, go. Faded, all up on the stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Faded, all up on the stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Check it out now, I'm the guy who been on the rise. Yeah, I'm hella wise from a place where they looking bummy, but they bullets fly. Oh, you hate the way you're young and get it? Yeah, I can tell. Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Fade to fade. All up on them stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. From rags to riches, I swear to get it and stay the realest. Don't get it twisted, the stuff we into completely different. I'm in my bag, she in the panties, you in your feelings. I'm in my lane with a chauffeur driven by competition. Where the grind, my enemies cannot stop. They can't take me off my square, no put me inside a box. They don't know what to do with youngins who refuse to lose. Keep it true while entertaining you. Push and do, we do what we gotta do to own all that, so we let it all stay. Black entrepreneurs, I let it be known with a mic in the core. With this music, cops won't abuse it. Even though I'm killed and shot or record. While I'm on tour, we all gon' win. Ruby Shorty's gon' love my friend. But on the road, I got a girl like him. A rider in the car that she in. Fade to fade. All up on them stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Fade to fade. All up on them stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine.
And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Tia Shasha High. You just heard Faded, Eli Capella. Eli is in the studio. You gotta just... I want you to tell us what 9 means again. I just want you to just say it again. And I want you to go slow because it's so good.
Okay. 9 stands for never initiating negative energy. So when people scream, hey, that's the 9, that's really what they're representing and what they're affirming.
I love it. And talk about, do you have any video? I know you have videos out, but do you have a video for this?
Yes, I do. So the official video has been out for a little while now. It features amazing dancers, an amazing environment. We actually shot it at the abandoned Delaware Electric Factory near Beach Street, and there's like so much graffiti in there, like so many stories that have been told for decades that are painted onto those walls, you know. So I just really wanted to commemorate all the hip hop heads who came before me, and I really wanted to show love to all of the elements of hip hop, you know. Yeah.
So I know that you were saying when we were playing the song that it was a time in your life that you were just doing a lot of things. So it's like a different feel this album, compared to what you're creating now. Can you talk about that?
So during the writing process of Illa Dwellers, I was really smoking a lot, you know. Those were one of the things that I would use to run away from my circumstances within my household, within my environment, because you gotta understand, like, the drug addiction literally just does not stop in Kensington. It's only getting worse, you know. And it's really affecting the community, like just the neighborly communal feel, you know. Like, people are very antisocial. It took me months to be able to get a neighbor to say hi to me, you know. The same thing when it comes to my father and my stepmother and my little brothers. Like, my little brothers literally had to grow up understanding the things that they're seeing, because my dad was never the type of father to try to make everybody oblivious to things. He was honest, stern, blunt, and straight real. And sometimes the vibes that were outside would come inside, and you know, there would be fights that would happen, and nothing violent or whatnot, but you know, there was always a lot of emotion because there's so many people in one small house that's mice infested. No matter how clean you are, you know, mice inside the drawers. I literally got used to killing a mouse every day, you know, so that would literally stress me out to the point that I would have to roll up and, you know, do what I got to do to run away from my demons, you know. And I think what's different about this one is that I'm actually facing them, you know, sober. Like, I don't have anything to run to, you know.
And this one referring to the new album.
Yeah, bars stands for Born and Raised in Soul. So yeah, I'm really excited for that project.
Yeah. Okay. So I have something to ask you.
Okay. Let's get it.
No, I'm making it sound more serious than what it really is.
Nah, listen,
But no,
it's all
so where do you, I know you were talking about like your family life and you draw inspiration from that. And where else do you draw inspiration from besides your environment? Like, do you have anything that you do besides music that, or something that you've done before that you're like, you know what, you draw from that as well?
So I do paint. Like, I'm not as motivated to paint as I am when it comes to music, but I'm definitely an event curator. My girlfriend and I throw a bi-monthly event series called Taco Night Open Mic.
I know I want to come to that.
Yo, our last
I wanted
event.
to come to that the last time. Well, I can't remember what happened. I was probably doing, but like, and I was just like, when is it going to be next? Because I'm going to make sure I'm there. I can't remember
August
why.
31st. Our last event.
Done.
We got over
I'm
100
going
people.
there.
Yep.
I'm putting on, mark your calendars, everyone. August 31st.
Taco Night Open Mic.
Taco Night Open Mic.
Yeah.
It looks so fun. I
yes,
mean,
we made the tacos ourselves, vegan and turkey tacos. And we actually served them. You know, our features, Telly Stoneman and MC Knowledge, really did their thing. You know, and we ended it off with a cipher, like an amazing cipher where poets got to come in and do their thing. Rappers, even singers, just came in and started singing, and it was just an amazing end to everything. Like, we gave out prizes. Lots of people networked, you know. So many people got to understand who each other was, because there was a lot of popping people in there, you know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Soraya for founding this. I actually featured in the second one.
nice.
And then I wanted to throw my type of event, but like, she humbled herself and was like, "Yo, like, let's do this together." I'm like, I'm down, and we just been rocking out ever since. So follow Taco Night Open Mic on Instagram. We are gonna continue to push that, and it's gonna
Follow
be dope.
Eli Capella.
Yep, Eli Capella 9 on Instagram.
And so before we close out, we have about in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell someone who's listening who felt like you at one point, who didn't have enough confidence to go out there and actually like do what they love? Like, what piece of advice do you give someone like that?
I would tell them, don't run away from the negativity. The best way to be happy is to find a solution to your problem, you know, not running from it. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're hungry. That's a problem. The solution would be to go get something to eat, but you have to accept the fact that you are hungry to get something to eat. So when it comes to how I used to feel when it comes to low self-esteem and whatnot, really acknowledge, like, I have low self-esteem. What am I going to do about it? And start to find things that really make you happy, you know, not put you at ease for a moment, but find things that genuinely give you life and something that you really want to grasp onto, and just embrace it. And there's never an answer to that question. There's never a solution. You just find ways to deal with every level of problem that comes across. But it's literally just the way of the world that we're going to come across conflict, you know. The key is to just understand it, accept it, and just continue to learn how to break through it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I gotta have you on again when the new album drops.
Oh, yeah.
Also like tag me in the video too, because when it I want to see it.
Yeah, I told everybody to drop 100 comments, and there's over 100 comments now.
Is there over 100?
So I gotta
Okay.
be a man of my word and drop it as soon as I'm done here.
Definitely. All right, that was Eli Capella. He's absolutely amazing. I'm going to play. Listen, we're closing out the show. Your track is. I'm gonna play it again.
Okay.
Just as an ode to Eli.
Encore, bring it back.
Just as an ode to Eli, that makes sense to me. It's but until then, thank you, Marty Criswanis, for stopping by. Mm-hmm. Thank you for doing your thing and helping me out during the Ladybug Music Festival yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait until that video drops. We got to do that. Look at Marty's laughing in the studio. Thank you, Eli.
Yes, thank
Capella, for coming and gracing us with your presence. You are wonderful. You have so much like knowledge. You're like 20.
22.
Oh, you're 22.
Yeah.
He's 22. I love that. I'm 27, so it all makes sense. All right. Until next time, stay lit, love inspired, and true. We're going to play Eli again, Faded. And 9 stands for?
Never initiate a negative energy.
Thank you, Eli.
Yep. Have a good one.
Until next time, bye.
This last song is a single that I've dropped. It's available on SoundCloud. For those who don't know, just listen. Yeah, you know that. That's the nine. Yeah, you know that. That's the nine. That's the nine. So yeah, this is my last song. I may give y'all everything, so I need everything back. So I need everybody to put their hands up. You gon' feel it. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, go.
Fade to fade, all up on them stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Fade to fade, all up on them stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Check it out now, I'm the guy who been on the rise. Yeah, I'm hella wise. From a place where they looking bummy, but they bullets fly. Oh, you hate the way you're young and get it? Yeah, I can tell. This swag I can never knock. You know my name be ringing bells. Love, I got plenty. They say I'm representing. Yeah, the world is for the taking, so they take in to listen. And my swag is sufficient, cause a youngin' be drifting. So when I step into that closet, funerals commencing. Woo! Moment of silence for the victims. They should've known I was gon' kill them, cause the youngins stay persistent. I'm super fly, I'll never land. Reppin' for them laws, boys. I killed the hook like Peter Pan. Fade to fade, all up on them stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Fade to fade, all up on them stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. From rags to riches, I swear to get it and stay the realest. Don't get it twisted, the stuff we into completely different. I'm in my bag, she in the panties, you in your feelings. I'm in my lane with a chauffeur driven by competition. Where the crime, my enemies cannot stop. They can't take me off my square, no put me inside a box. They don't know what to do with youngins who refuse to lose. Keep it true while entertaining you. Push it through, we do what we gotta do to own all that, so we let it all stay. Black entrepreneurs, I let it be known with a mic in the core. With this music, cops won't abuse it. Even though I'm killed and shot or record. While I'm on tour, we all gon' win. Ruben Shorty's gon' love my grin. But on the road, I got a girl like Kim. A rider in the car, there she is. Fade to fade, all up on them stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Yeah, you know that that's the nine. Fade to fade, all up on them stages, young Capella going crazy. Yeah, you know that that's the nine.